This is America in Space, a weekly news and information program on current events dealing with the space industry.
Welcome, and thanks for joining me today. I'm Dawn Meyer, Space Coast News Editor. John McFall, a British surgeon and former Paralympian, carried the Paralympic flag onto the stage prior to the declaration of the Games during the opening ceremony of the 2024 Summer Paralympic Games on August the 28th, 2024 in Paris, France. McFall earned a bronze in the Paralympic Games in 2008, competing in the men's T42 100-meter race in Beijing. Today, McFall has a different career. It involves considerable medical expertise and participating in the European Space Agency as a reserve astronaut. McFall said in a statement, "I am truly honored to be standing here as the Paralympian and a member of the Astronaut Reserve with a physical disability. I like to think that my presence here at this year's ceremony in my new role as the European Space Agency attests to and embodies the success, reach, and legacy of the Paralympic movement." McFall was selected by the European Space Agency in 2022. One of his major duties has been finalizing the FLY study, which is performing a range of tests to evaluate the capability of an astronaut with a lower leg prosthesis like the one he uses himself for the International Space Station missions. The study found no major issues with such a flight, but it does not guarantee that McFall will fly. Like other ESA reserve astronauts, he has done basic familiarization training and continues in his career as a surgeon while waiting a possible call-up for a future space mission. Here he is talking about the evaluation for spaceflight.
We looked at training requirements for the space to be an astronaut in the spacecraft, requirements on the space station, medical requirements, and crew support requirements. And we looked across those domains and looked at how my disability might impact on those requirements, and also how my prosthesis might impact on those requirements, and just sort of systematically went through that. And actually, coming to this with my background was incredibly useful. You know, being an athlete, obviously being an amputee, but I'm not really a very passive amputee. I'm quite involved in my care. You know, I know how my prosthesis works. You know, I'm a technology demonstrator. I'm a test patient for some of the hardware and all this sort of stuff. So I understand. I've got a master's degree in biomechanics and gait analysis, and then that coupled with, you know, being a doctor and, you know, having this extensive medical background as well as being an orthopedic surgeon, really it all fed so well into this and bringing my expertise to it.
McFall said he was glad to bring his passion for sports to the Paralympics, even though he was nervous in the attempt, as he prefers to compete against himself rather than others. "I was that annoying kid who was in every sports team, but I didn't necessarily have aspirations of being an Olympic athlete. Following the loss of my leg, I got back into running, and sports became a huge part of my life." He said that the 8 years of preparation for the Paralympics helped him with other life endeavors, including becoming a physician and participating in the astronaut selection process. McFall said, "What you put in, the effort you put in, you get back reward. It was a real-life lesson for me." He continued with, "There's more work to be done, but the goal is for it to all culminate in flying someone with a physical disability to the International Space Station by the end of this decade before it's decommissioned. Hopefully that will have happened." Thank you for joining me, and thank you for listening from your home or where you work. And wherever you listen, be sure to like and follow us. Listen each Tuesday for This Week in Space with John Gomez. And join me every Friday for America in Space. From the Florida Space Coast, I'm Dawn Meyer, Space Coast News Editor for About Space Today.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to share our program with your family and friends, and follow us on Facebook. Join us each week for news and information on America in Space.